Yeehaw guys, and welcome to yet another quick review. So this is my S1000Rr model year 2018. So in this video I would like to cover a few important points about these bikes at all, like overall. So I had a 2012 model as well, and you can look it up in my videos on my channel for like a long time ago. And so what I noticed on this bike, so whatever I did to my previous bike when I satisfied with its handling actually has been done by BMW factory on this one. So we removed the swing arm pivot for that thing 3 mm down. We increased the wheelbase by increasing the chain length by what's the name of things? By 2 links. Sorry, it's getting really late. And yeah, we raised the forks and triple clamp, so raised the bike on the fork, so triple clamp, so it's just less than one line showing. And we said this is like, and we used the shock mount eccentric on the top from HP4 and the linkage here from HP4 as well, which of course I couldn't do with a standard shock back in 2012. Yeah, so basically new geometry, and you can do whatever this bike does, like from 2012 model, like easily, like by buying some option parts from Alpha Racing, for example, like with swing arm mounting eccentrics, like you can buy that in different offsets from Alpha Racing. Longer chain, you can probably find a cheap shock with manual adjustments from like 2015, 16 or whatever, and the linkage as well, cheap on eBay, and raise the bikes on the fork and you're gonna get the same handling as this 2018 model has. And actually these changes we started from 2015, so well. Anyway, that's the first point I would like to cover. The second point relates to DDC calibration problems, which I read a lot on the forums about. The problem with a DDC calibration consists from two parts. So one part, and both of them are just BMW freaking manufacturing problems and engineering problems. So as probably you know, this bike has a sensor in the rear, and that sensor tracks the position of a swing arm while you're riding the bike. And then you hit the calibration on the DDC calibration menu. It basically sets the sensor to some zero position. In the manual, BMW says to do the calibration, the bike needs to be on the side stand or on the auxiliary stand. Auxiliary stand is the one which grabs the bike by the fork, by the swing arm. Okay, little pieces mounted here, like this here, and just lifts it up in the air. It's the same, pretty much, almost the same weight distribution as if the bike would be standing on its own weight. And by reading BMW manual, this is how you calibrate DDC. To many people, that procedure doesn't work, especially most often what doesn't work is a calibration well on the auxiliary stand, and a lot of bikes' own weight applied to rear suspension. So how to solve that problem? So there's two things to that. First of all, there is a rod connecting, is located right here. There's a rod connecting the sensor, which is right here, to the swing arm. And of course this whole description applies only for bikes with a DDC, not for manual adjustment bikes. So that link may be sometimes too long. So ends of a link, so there is a metal strip in the middle like that, and then two ball connectors, one on the bottom, one on the top. So those plastic ball connectors not pushed all the way into a rod. So you can use a rubber hammer put like that link on a piece of hard rubber and use rubber hammer to few gentle kicks to like, you know, put these plastic beads on top of a metal rod as it's supposed to be, so it will just sink a little short link. And of course, if you screw it up, you can buy a new link from BMW, no problem. So that's one part of a solution. So another part of a solution, actually too high tolerances between the diameter of the bolts connecting linkage to shock and shock to the frame at the top, and linkage parts to a frame, linkage parts to swing arm, and connecting two parts of a linkage together. So, and you can see that, so if you loosen all these bolts on the swing arm link and the shock bolts, you will see that you can move the swing arm up and down by approximately 10 millimeters on a free play of those tolerances. So assume what happens when BMW releases a bike from like factory. All the bolts are tightened when the swing arm actually just hanging like that down on its own weight. And so everything is tightened with the swing arm being quite steep, swing arm angle. But when you ride the bike for some time, because of the bumps and not, let's say, infinite friction in all these mountings, the swing arm angle starts to decrease, and so it becomes more flat. That affects the handling, but it also does not allow to calibrate on a bike sitting on its own weight, or in some cases even worse, sitting on a side stand. So the only option to calibrate for those users would be to lift the rear wheel up in the air when a calibration usually passes. The solution to this problem is a set of bolts, high precision or high tolerance bolts, which you can buy from Alpha Racing. It's a German company. You can contact them or find their online shop and buy from there. So it's a set of bolts, and what you're looking for is a set for the B-turbo shocks. That will actually have all bolts except for the shock bottom mount bolt, which you will be like keeping by BMW standard bolt in there. So you need to replace all the bolts within the linkage and the top shock mount with those bolts from Alpha Racing, and so the movement on the free play will decrease. And so what you can do then is basically put the bike on a side stand before finally tightening all this linkage and other bolts and the shock mount bolts, and so the rear will be compressed like that and tighten everything up so it won't sink that much as it would sink on the standard tolerant bolts, and it will stay there exactly as you tighten it forever until everything breaks and Earth dies, things like that. So, that joke. So that's the solution. Basically, buy a bolt kit for B-turbo shocks, rear shock for S1000Rr from Alpha Racing, and it will solve your problems with DDC calibration. So now, when I did that, what I also did, and this is optional, I changed so at the top, somewhere where shock connects to a frame at the top, you would see, if you look where, you would see like eccentric parts. So it looks like an oval like that with a hole in it. So the standard configuration on this bike is that the hole is down, and that eccentric is 1.5 millimeter, like off the center, same as on HP4, but on HP4 that is mounted hole up because of a different swinger mounting point. So on this bike it's a 3 millimeter down from what I was on HP4. Anyway, you may replace that eccentric part, and it has two parts, one inserts from the left and another inserts from the right. So if you replace that from the same eccentric part from model year 2012, just a standard S1000Rr, which has 2.5mm offset in it, and again mounted hold down in your bike. Just again compress the swing arm before tightening everything up, and just ride the bike. You will see the difference, so it will handle much better when it handles right now, and it will not sink anymore, so it will stay always in the same position. And you can also find in that case that the DDC will calibrate all the time. Like it can be calibrated when the bike is on the side stand, can be calibrated with the rear wheel lifted in the air, and can be calibrated when the bike is sitting on its own weight on the auxiliary stand or just on the floor, if you say lean a bike against the wall and it's almost like straight. And so you can calibrate all you want and it will all work. And that tells you what in that case position of a swing arm or swing arm angle will be that as designed from, let's say, the engineering blueprints. Alright, so hope this was helpful, because many people like discussing it in forums, but nobody really has an answer, which is strange. It's like world became so dumb nowadays. Well, I don't know, who cares. But anyway, that problem is originated by the BMW and solved by Alpha Racing by using this bolt kit. Alrighty. Yeah, an optional replacing the eccentric with 2.5mm, which will improve things even further. Alright, what else? Yeah, another point I would like to cover is the size of a rear tire. So this bike can accept 200 by 55 and 190 by 55 at the same rim, basically. Even though BMW says that for 255 you need to replace the rims with those HP cast aluminum, but there's just some BS, because both rear rims are exactly the same 6-inch wide, so there's no real big reason except for weight maybe, but that influence of that difference is very small in weight between this rim, which is standard, and the cast aluminum wheel anyway. But what you need to do, so if your bike came with a standard wheels and 190 by 55 rear tire, and you want to change it to 100 by 55, then you need to basically contact a dealership and have your bike reprogrammed for the new rear tire size. Very programming, like traction control mostly, which would understand how to work with a new size rear tire. If you do not reprogram, then the traction control will not work correctly, and you may end up crashing the bike, which is bad. Or maybe it will kick into early, and so you're not getting the results you want in terms of the speed. Alright? And the same if your bike came with cast aluminum wheels. If you want to go to 190 by 55 from 200 by 55, and you again need to bring your bike to a dealership to reprogram it. Right now it's possible already. They do it easily. It's a cheap procedure. Alrighty. So that's traction control. So because many people I noticed just replace the rear tire, put a 200 by 55, and nobody even knows what you need to go to a dealership and reprogram the traction control so it would work correctly. Regarding the tire profile, so the standard bike comes with very unaggressive, like a street-oriented tires from Bridgestone, something that says S1000Rr, something like that. So, and the cast aluminum wheel option comes with a Pirelli Superforce SP tires. So when you reprogram the traction control, the best, of course, your tire choice is up to you. What I'm trying to say is best to match a profile of a new tire, which is 200 by 55, into a profile of a Pirelli Superforce SP, which is quite aggressive, because this traction control program is designed for this specific Pirelli Superforce SP 200 by 55 tire profile, front and rear. Oh, and rear, sorry, corresponding front. Yeah, so that's regarding traction control. So many swap the tires, and then we wonder why the traction control is not working very well. And this is why. And there is a page in the manual which describes that. Not a page, it's 3 lines on whatever page. Not remember. I didn't find it. Yeah. So don't be shy to reprogram your bike. Sorry, I'm too late. It's late. I'm sleeping. Yep. These are news about the bike. What else can I say? What else did I find? Yeah, I put in these HP levers. You see the clutch lever over there. This is like from BMW option parts. And these are great. Highly recommended but expensive. But it definitely changes the feel for both brakes and the clutch. Much more comfortable than standard levers. So you're welcome. What else? Nothing else pretty much. Yeah, I replaced those ugly bees here, which holds the axle in a swing arm. So they used to be from like machined aluminum before, like in the 2012 model, and from 2015 they started to build them from some, I don't know, shitty silamine or something like that. It was really ugly. So I replaced that with Alpha Racing, and this is just for the sake of me not going insane about that bad part we have standard on this bike from 2015. Yeah, everybody's bike is fun to ride. I had the front sensor mounted for some time just to test ride it, and it did work actually better. The whole suspension works better with a front sensor installed. Front suspension obviously, but the positioning of that front sensor does not allow a full lock on the steering end to end. You need to put the rubber dampers which comes with that front sensor, and that steering angle is fine for the truck, but it's bad for the roads. So I guess a front sensor, unless somebody can figure out or how to reposition it in such a way so it would not hit the radiator on a full lock, and that would be gold. At the moment that is not possible option at all. So racetrack only front sensor. Bad idea, BMW, but who cares, isn't it? Nobody cares. Alrighty, what else? There's nothing else. I pretty much explained what we wanted. And of course could have shown you a calibration procedure. It's like 2 o'clock at night or something, so I'm really sleepy and I wanna go to bed now. Sorry for that, guys, but trust me, it does really work. If you don't trust me, I don't care. I gave you some answers, I guess, which are hard to find anywhere else. Yeah, but 2 key points. But if you have a 2012 model, you can change the geometry of a 2012 model, including the rear shock and linkage, so it will match exactly to this bike, and do it quite cheap if you buy parts from eBay, like second hand shock linkage especially. Alright. So have a great night, day, whatever time of what you have there, and bye.